Hey everybody, welcome to Dragonbane at the Adventure Archive. We're getting so close to the end of this campaign. Looks like we got a good turnout, so thanks for hanging out with us. If you're watching on the stream, don't forget to like the stream if you're watching in the future. Like the future VOD, because it helps us out a lot. Thank you, Patrick, for all of the work you've done. I'm not sure if you're watching these streams anymore, but he is the developer of the Foundry module, all the systems and everything like that. And thank you to Andreas for the soundtrack, and thank you to Noel for the other soundtrack. So I'll do a brief recap, but first we have a little bit of an announcement to make. I'm going to say this up front in case you don't watch the stream all the way through. But next Tuesday we have a special game planned. We're returning to the land of Merkborg, and I'm not running it though. Joey down. Am I pointing the right way? No, here we go. Down this way. He's going to be running it, so come hang out and check that out. It's going to be a bloody good time, I'm sure. So I'm excited to actually... I've never played Merkborg, ever, so I've only run it, so it's going to be fun. But anyway, that said, do a brief recap and we'll get right into this. So they made their way all the way to the Isle of Mist and found a pond with a staircase leading down it. They decided to not venture into or venture on top of the. You guys did. You went up to the giant pillar, you found some crazy ritualistic sacrificial stuff, and you're like, nah. There's a skeleton there. It has some kind of amulet with the mark of Sathmog, and you're like, nah. That symbol brings nothing good. So you guys headed back, went down. You had to swim underwater. Go down the staircase, come back up into a cave system, and you guys headed east. Quickly ran into some vampiric bats. Also noticed some kind of marking on the wall that said troll with an arrow pointed further to the east. But during that fight, it was Gideon who he failed his will roll, so he rolled fear, and then he had to run in a direction. He chose east. And he ran into a big bad troll, which we see right now. So I guess we'll begin there, everybody. The rest of you are still in this little cramped kind of passage, but you do see Gideon as he bolts his way down this eastern corridor, and this massive troll with just... You guys can smell it from here. There's just a foul smell coming off it. He's kind of snorting and grunting, and he's got this... It looks like he's collecting stuff. So he has this hide, some kind of like leather hide on his back, and there's pikes and things sticking out of it, and there's bracelets and jewels and skulls and various other kinds of things you can peek over his beyond his nasty head. So that's where we're at again. This troll. So get in. You kind of bump right into him, and that's what he says. Who goes there? And he's kind of blinking in the dim lights.
Hi.
Yes, he's a monster, Gideon, if you did not know. Trolls are considered monsters in this.
I would scream, but it would probably clip the mic, but you can imagine the scream echoing through.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so you're kind of dumbfounded. You can't even find your monster slaying sensibilities quite yet. But the rest of you guys, as you see this troll kind of blinking in the torchlight, what would you like to do as he utters this word echoing down through the caves?
Well, I think that the Peabody. I don't know if he was walking with the sword out, with the Um-Durman sword. He will hold it forward and he will say, he will shout. He can see the troll also. I don't think that Bramble can, but he can see it. And he will say, stand out of our way. We are on a mission. You must not interfere.
So you say this, and the troll kind of cocks its head for a moment, and then you feel the walls rumbling, and then you start to hear him laughing. Oh, 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 oh. It's a deep belly laugh as he finds what Peabody says quite funny. And he says, "No, this my cave. You no pass."
Oh, we do pass. Yes, we will pass. Please, excuse us. Pardon me. And he'll kind of like start walking up, but he's holding the sword kind of out so the troll can see it.
So are you okay? So you're approaching the troll with the drawn sword, then? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys? What are you doing? What's Sariel, Donovan, and Bramble doing? Because you all hear this. You're very
These
close.
bats are dead right in front of me.
The bats are
right?
all dead. You know, let me just delete them so we're uncluttering the map.
We need to be very, very careful around this troll. Trolls can be very ill-tempered creatures. And we need to gauge on whether or not this one in particular is intelligent or not. Some are smarter than others on average. Just everybody be cautious. Perhaps, Bramble, you can convince Peabody to stand down a little bit.
I can try, but I don't know if it will do any good. Hey Peabody, perhaps we take a little bit of caution with this troll. Peabody looks at him and says, "What? No, we have to proceed forward, and this troll cannot be in our way. We have to go. Yes." And he looks back at the troll and says, "Seriously, please, let us pass."
So, okay, you guys are saying that. I'm going to say, Gideon, you're probably like wedged. I know you moved down this southern cave, but you're probably like, can I move you like without there? You're kind of there because you ran into this guy. Yeah, you're kind of wedged, I guess, right up against him.
Goodness.
What about Sariel?
Oh, it smells.
Yeah, it smells.
I have my bow out. I don't think I can see.
Yeah, you're further down. Yeah, you're further down there. You hear everything. You hear this conversation echoing down toward you, but do you want to move forward to get a better look, or are you going to hang back?
Maybe I'll move like here.
Okay.
I can see him there.
Yeah, you can clearly see over Donovan and Peabody, and you see Gideon
yeah.
down there kind of, wedged.
I just have my bow trained on him in case he does something crazy.
Okay.
Wait, the troll or Gideon?
Either.
Yeah, I mean, anything that either one is very plausible. Okay, so then you're just demanding that Donovan Bramble, are you joining the conversation at all, or are you kind of just taking a wait-and-see approach?
Bramble is, he's like loosened the battle axe, ready to go if we are going to, but he's not adding anything else. He is kind of standing by, waiting to see what happens.
Okay. So, what I want you to do, Gideon, so this troll he sees you as this small figure beside him, and you're kind of wedged between the rock wall and him. And he tries to grab you. So I want you to roll me a or be grabbed, it's up to you. But you can roll me an evade to try to, get out of his way if you'd like. He's not attacking you. He's just it's almost like reaching down because you're a nuisance in his way.
Gideon I'm going to say he's going to get grabbed because Gideon is not only petrified with fear at this point, but he is
That's true.
boiling over with excitement and adrenaline because this is the biggest monster he's ever seen. This is his whole entire life goal, is to slay this.
So he's keeping his enemies closer, I guess, as the saying goes. So yeah, this giant troll hand wraps around your slippery frog body and lifts you off the ground, and he's holding you, and he looks at you closely, and he sniffs you, tilts his head. You can see that his eyes are kind of glazed over slightly, like they haven't seen the light in some time, almost as if they're like devolving to a degree. But he actually looks at you, sniffs you, and then grumbles, but then he puts you down right in front. He kind of tosses you a little bit. Go, my cave.
You are a monster, and I am a monster slayer. So, by the power vested in me, you shall die. And
Oh,
Gideon's gonna
man.
strike.
Okay. All right. So let me just get everybody into combat.
Just for meta's sake, I'm playing into my weakness.
You are experience point if you survive.
That's
Okay.
the tough part.
So I'm going to give you the first action because this troll was not very combative yet. So you can go ahead and do your attack if you wish.
Cool. So, let me see. Additional damage. I think it adds that after the fact for me.
Oh no! Okay, so that is a mishap. We rolled a demon, everybody. The first roll of the night is a demon. So yeah, click on it. So you accidentally toss your weapon D3 plus 3 meters. To pick it up, you must move and then perform an action. Okay, so why don't you click that little button, roll it. So it goes 5 meters away. I'll let you choose, I guess, where it... I mean, I feel like it'd probably go down this way. If you're like whipping at him, right? So let's just say...
should I... would I have to roll to see if it sticks in my hand?
No, because it's already in your hand. That was just kind of like the attack thing.
Okay.
Trying to use it. Worth a try, worth a try. So I'll say you can either throw it past him, or it can kind of like ricochet down this southern cavern. It's up to you.
I'm going to say it's going to go right between his legs.
Okay, cool. So it goes right between his legs. And he takes advantage of this situation, this mishap. And let's see what he does. Troll vomit. Perfect. The troll clears its throat with a thunderous rumble, coughs up a cascade of bile and stinking swamp water. All adventurers within 6 meters suffer a condition of their choice. Oh, nice. Okay, so that would be everybody. Well, I guess I'm going to say Bramble's protected. He's kind of in that little nook. But Peabody, Donovan, and Gideon, you guys all get to take a condition as this just gouts of this barf come up all over you guys. Sariel is luckily out of the way.
Gideon's going to take dazed. He's not sure what's in there.
Okay, and then as Peabody is wiping the bile from his eyes, he is up next.
I
Sickly, perfect.
Yeah,
it's appropriate.
So as Gideon, he says this thing about him being a monster. I think that something sticks in Peabody's head about that. It's because he goes, wait a minute, I am technically a monster as well. I'll have to have a talk with him later. He's going to run, kind of move forward.
Okay.
I don't know if he can share a space with where
So you
Gideon
can
is
move through. It's tricky. So this is a very narrow corridor, but I'll say if you want to, you can move through Gideon and up here to this square. Because technically you can move through. You just can't move past enemies. but you can move.
Is it a
through
roll
party
if I
members.
move past an enemy? Like, could I try?
I'd have to look that up.
Like, if I could try to like slide between this giant troll's legs to get on the other side of him.
Yeah, I think it is. I'll have to find it. But is that what you want to do?
If I
You
could
try to
do
get to the
that,
other side of him? Oh,
I would love
okay.
to get to the other side of him if I could.
Hell yeah. Let me check really quick. I wonder if it requires like a special move, or it's impossible, or they get a free attack. Let's see.
It says
Topple.
you cannot move past an enemy who wants to stop you.
Yeah, you cannot move. Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Yep, I cannot move through him. It looks like. It's just how. I'm guessing he would not want me on the other side of him. So.
Yeah, I would say you could like try to topple them or something, or bring them to the ground, maybe. You know, and then you could get past them. Or I mean,
Okay.
I guess if you want, you know, we could just house rule this. We could say if you're trying to slip through his legs, I'll say you need to roll an acrobatics check.
I would love to do that. I'll use Sam Dark's suggestion, and I'll slide through his legs on the vomit like a slip and slide.
Oh,
And,
I was. You know what? It's great. That's great. So I was going to give you a bane, but I will make it a regular roll because there is a vomit slick. Great.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see if I can do it.
All right.
You said acrobatics?
Yeah, just an acrobatics and see if you can. Unless you have another ability or something that you think is going to be worthwhile. Okay, unfortunately, that's an 18. You can push the roll if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll push it. I'll go angry.
Okay, you're pissed. You're covered in vomit.
Like I go to slide in accident, and I miss the vomit, and I hit like just dirt and rocks and just skin up my knees.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I look so
Oh,
stupid.
and it's a success with a 2. Awesome. Okay, you catch the slipperiest part of the
That's not
vomit.
me. That's me.
And you get on the other side of the troll. And his arms kind of come down. Roof.
There we go.
They try to grab you, but it's in slow motion, and you make it all the way across. So while you're in here, Peabody, the stench of rot is just pervasive in here as you kind of enter this dark part of this little passage of the end of the cave. But you don't have a chance to really quite see anything yet as you enter. Okay, and then so that I'm going to say that's your action. So
Sounds good.
You're kind of on the other side, and then the troll's going to go again. He's just going to is like this giant armor hide on his back is like scratching the walls as he twists and turns, and stones are coming down. Let's see what he does though. Repulsive bite. The troll opens its foul-smelling mouth and bites the player character with a denture of fangs, gravel, and old bone fragments. The attack inflicts 2d8 piercing damage. Player character is struck in the troll. Stuck in the troll's mouth and must make a strength roll. Counts as an action every round to break free. On a failure, the victim suffers an additional 2d8 piercing damage. Okay, so unfortunately, that's going to be Gideon because Gideon is right there. So you end up in the troll's mouth. First and foremost, it's going to be 2d8 piercing damage.
Are we able to dodge monster attacks?
You can't. Shit, you're right. So you can use your. I gave you the free attack since you initiated, but you're still number 6 in the initiative. So you can use that as a reaction if you want to try to evade, and use your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. All right. So why don't you roll me?
My evade skill.
Roll me an evade. Oh no, it's a failure to 13, and that was Bane. So do you want to take another condition, or do you want to take the 6 points of damage? Actually, I guess it'd be 5 points of damage.
We're gonna push it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a success with a 10. So his giant maw opens up and snaps closed, and you are able to get out of the way. And if you want to, you can move in a direction because you have a successful evade. So if you want to move like over here or back or whatever.
Could I possibly evade by jumping over his bite and grabbing onto his head?
Grabbing onto his head. Okay. Yeah, why not? So we'll say it's going to be, I guess, an acrobatics check. So you jump. Actually, I'm gonna... Yeah, we'll do that. So why don't you just roll me an acrobatics check and see if you can leap on top of his head. That's a success. So with an 11...
Sweet.
So yeah, you leap out of the way and then jump onto his head. So you're kind of up there. And basically what I'll do is I'll have you have to roll a strength check every round to see if he, shakes you off or not. But
Okay.
you're currently on the troll's head. I will also say, why don't you roll me an awareness too? Do me an awareness check. Or spot hidden, one of the two, whichever one you want. Okay, so that's a 9 with a success. So as this troll, its mouth opened wide, you saw the blackest of the blackest rotten tooth festering in one side of its mouth. You don't know if that's normal for trolls. Could be. He's a pretty stinky guy. But in any case, I let you know that detail. That's what you spotted.
What side was it?
On his left side. Left jaw.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, that's it for him. Sariel, you're up.
Okay, so she already has her bow like aimed at this guy, so she's gonna try to hit him.
Yeah, you have line of sight, but there's also people in the way. So you'll have to, and plus Gideon is riding on his head, so you just have to have a bane. It's basically just a baned attack roll.
Okay. I also have Dragon Slayer. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I wanna equip Dragon Slayer.
And what does that do?
I think it adds to my damage.
I just
I'll be-
realized I have that too. Crap.
An attack aimed at a monster deals an additional damage. You activate this ability after you roll a hit.
But before you roll for damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you get an extra d8. So why don't you roll me an attack with a bane? And don't forget to activate that because I think it takes willpower.
I do that after I attack. Though.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So why don't you roll me an attack and we'll see. Yeah, I guess you don't want to use it if you...
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. So 2 and a 2. That's a success. So why don't you activate the Dragon Slayer ability? Nice. Okay. 3 willpower points. And then he can't dodge. He has 2 of his turns. So...
Oh.
2. Wow, that's a low roll. You get an extra d8 though, so why don't you roll another d8?
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, everybody, that was a d10 plus a 1d4, and she only rolled a 2. But she got a 7 on the d8, so that's a total of 9 points of damage. Let's see, does this guy have armor? No, he doesn't. Interesting. Okay. So let me deal damage too. And I think I'll have to manually do this because it's just a roll. Okay, so you hit him in his exposed flesh. And he roars out, and Gideon is just holding on by his, I guess his greasy hair or something. Did you want to move at all, or you want to hold your ground, Serial, where you are?
Yeah, I think I'll hold my ground for now.
Okay. All right, Gideon, it's your turn, but first I need you to roll me a strength check as this troll is thrashing around, newly pierced by arrows or an arrow, and we'll see if you hold on.
I hope so.
Oh man, a demon, another demon. Okay, unfortunately you slide off. I'll let you choose where you slide off as he's kind of thrashing about, so you can slide off kind of where Peabody is behind him, or down this side thing, or down this southern corridor, or kind of where you are right now.
Would him shaking be an action?
What do you mean? The troll?
Yeah.
Well, it's really, that was just a narrative reason for you to like have to roll a strength. Basically on every turn you have to roll
Right.
you'd have to roll a strength check to make sure you're holding on.
I get that. That makes sense. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna fall right in front of him.
Okay. So you still have an action.
I am. Huh. I'm going to use Dragon Slayer. So I have in my inventory the fang from the basilisk that we killed in that cave a long time ago. Could I use that as a dagger?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna attack with that. Is there a knives skill? Oh god, it's horrible.
Okay, with a 19. Oh, you're pushing it. Dang, you have so many. Do you have all the conditions taken?
Yeah, now I do.
You have every condition, so Gideon's not doing so hot. That's
He's
a
a mess.
16. That's another fail. So yeah, you're just kind of, you're a mess basically. That's why you miss. So if you do move, it would trigger a free attack. So I'm guessing you're gonna want to stay where you are. Okay, so you're right there in the shadow of this great troll, which brings us to Bramble. What would you like to do?
So Bramble will free. He carries a warhammer. He'll free his warhammer,
Okay.
and then he'll like turn the corner and see everything that's happening. You can barely see Peabody on the other side, and he will move forward. Let's see. I can go right there, and I wouldn't mind having Bramble be in this, like, move past Gideon.
Okay.
If
Yeah,
I
you
could
can do
get
that.
him into one of these little
Yeah.
alcove areas.
Yeah, you can move down there through Gideon. There you go.
And then he will strike, but I think he's going to strike because I'm guessing this troll is super huge compared to him. He's only a little tiny duckling. He's going to try to smash the troll's knee and maybe try to get him to bring him down to a lower level. Maybe take out his legs. So rolling this, I might use topple instead.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
And see if I can knock his knee out from under him, and if he'll lose his footing.
So that is a contested, I believe, roll, if I remember correctly. Or opposed roll, I should say. Topple 48. Yeah, it's going to be your skill level and your weapon, and then the enemy's evade. So I will roll an evade. See what happens. So I rolled a 6, which is success. What is your attack?
I also rolled a
you did.
6.
Oh, damn. So what is your Warhammer skill?
18.
Okay. So you would succeed in this situation
Okay.
because you had more levels of. I talked to Patrick about this. He likes the math of that better, which makes a lot more sense versus the standard rules. So I'll say you succeed and you topple this guy, bringing him down.
I didn't have him targeted, so I don't know how much damage that would have done.
Does your weapon have the toppling feature as well?
It allowed me to select topple.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You succeeded, but you would have gotten a boon as well if your weapon has the toppling feature.
Okay. I think I did roll with a boon.
Okay, cool. So, let's see here. So, yeah, basically you knock this massive troll to the ground.
Do I roll damage on that, or no? Or is that the...
No, I think it's in lieu of...
the effect that I wanted.
Exactly. So it's basically in lieu of damage. So basically you trip him up. He falls to the ground. Some more cavern dust trickles down everywhere. And the ground shakes with his weight. Which finally brings us to Donovan. What would you like to do as this troll is on the ground? So if you guys remember, when an enemy's on the ground, you guys get boons to your attacks. That's kind of the whole purpose of it, but...
All right. Donovan would like to maybe make a beast lore check to see if there's anything else about trolls.
Yeah, of course. Why don't you roll me a beast roll check? This will be your action though, as you're kind of studying him, I guess, from afar. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much else I could do right now.
Okay. So a 12 is a success. So you do know, you recall some things about trolls. You recall that they are very sensitive to sunlight. However, there is no sunlight down here. You also know that they are a regenerating creature. So that even though they can be wounded, they will start regenerating very quickly. You also know that they are relatively intelligent, can be reasoned with, more or less, let's say just generally speaking.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what you get.
All right. And then, do I still have a move action?
Yeah, I'll let you move. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and move.
Move forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get closer in case I need to help heal someone later.
Okay, sounds good. That's the end of the round. Let's see what happens next. Sariel, you're at the top of the initiative order. Way back in the cave. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna try to hit him again.
Okay, so it's going to be another baned attack just because you got people in the way.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, he's still on the ground, so I'll cancel it out, I guess. Even though it seems like he'd be harder to hit. But we'll just say it for the sake of the function of being toppled, or the result. Success with a 5. And he's not going anywhere. I think...
He's rolled.
Do you get... I think you get actually a... is it plus D4 if somebody's on the ground too? Prone. Let me just double check. Because I feel like that's a thing. I don't see it anywhere. Maybe it's just a... maybe it's just the boon thing. Anyway, oh wait. Prone targets if you are standing up, da-da-da-da. Oh no, extra d6 damage. I knew it was something.
Okay.
So you get the regular damage plus the... Did you use that ability again?
Yeah.
Oh damn, okay. Alright, so that's 4 plus 5 plus 2?
Yeah.
11. Okay. Yeah, you stick him good in the soft spot. 1, 2. With your very sharp arrow. Okay. Do you want to move anywhere?
Nah, I'm staying here.
Okay. So Bramble, you're up next. As this troll is turning into a pincushion.
Okay. I think when the troll fell, did Bramble see this? Get a good look inside of his mouth.
Why don't we roll an awareness to see if you caught a glimpse of it? Because we're in the heat of combat, and he might have like snarled or something as you brought him down.
Okay.
But let's just see if you get that info. Fortunately, no, you did not. You're too in the heat of battle. So, what would you like to do?
Then he will go for. Well, he's already right there, so he will try to bring the warhammer. He's smashing it in the knee, and he's going to try and bring it around and drop it right on it.
Okay, so
on the top of his head. If it's that low, maybe he'll jump a little bit to do it.
Nice. Be like a. Was it Ice Climber? That old NES game with the Eskimos where you would like... You don't remember that? Nobody? Okay. Chat, comment down below if you remember Ice Climber from the NES days.
I remember it.
You remember it?
Yeah.
Nice. I just remember the Eskimos like... That's what I picture it, because they'd have these big hammers, and when they hit down, like they'd rise up. It'd be like a teeter-totter like this.
Okay. Okay. Attack.
Oh, and you got a
a boon for because he's down.
It's okay. I mean, you hit him anyway.
Can I see if I crit?
Yeah. Why don't you roll another one? Oh, it's good that it wasn't that one.
Okay.
The mishap.
So
I'll just trash that one since it doesn't count. So you can roll your damage plus there's another d6 because he is still prone. He hasn't had a chance to get up yet. Man, so much damage. Holy crap.
Plus a d6.
10 plus d6. Let's see what we got. 14 total. Man. Okay, so you do smash him in the top of the head heavily. You see bits of skull, and you can see his eyes rolling in his head. He doesn't look like he's doing so hot.
Okay, that's going to be Bramble's turn. He's good.
Okay, Peabody, you're up next.
I don't think I can click on Peabody's.
Oh, really?
Oh, there he is. Yeah. Okay, got it. I got him.
You got him? Okay.
Yeah. So Peabody. So this troll is kind of like in front of him. So I guess he'll like as he'll kind of try to bring the sword up and come down on his back.
Okay. Did you get a boon as well just because of the he's still toppled?
I guess I was baned.
Yeah, you were baned. You were already baned?
It looks like it. I failed on an 18, but I also rolled oh no, wait.
Because you rolled a 4 and an 18.
18, yeah. Does the 4 count as the first dice? If the him being prone,
yeah, I mean let's say it does then, yeah, because I guess that's the first die in the roll table, or in the roll result. So yeah, let's just say that's it. So let me just trash this so you don't have to push anything.
Okay.
And then we'll just manually do the damage.
Okay, so his sword does 2d10, so it's 2d10 plus 6.
Yeah, plus d6.
Okay. Oh, plus d6, yeah. See if this works.
Man, the topple was really, really beneficial in this. Holy crap. Okay, yeah, you dispatch of this massive troll however you'd like, Peabody.
Yeah, so he drives the sword through like his lower back, and I would guess
severing his spine or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, all right. So you hear this Just massive exhale of breath as he breathes his last breath. And that is the end of the old troll.
We did it! Oh my god, we did it!
Yeah, I think Peabody looks at Gideon and is like, I saw what you did on his head. That was pretty slick, pretty nice.
So is he.
You look like you're pretty. You have a lot going on over there. Hurt, kind of hurt. All those. I can't see your conditions, but I can see you're going through some things.
He's just standing there, shaking, eyes wide, smiling big. What do you mean? This is the happiest I've ever been. Tears running down his face.
It's just the first troll you bagged?
Yeah. This is the biggest monster I've ever seen. I think I need to take a nap. And he's just going to collapse where he's standing.
Okay. Gideon faints with a combination of a lot of things, I guess. So yeah,
do I have to do something when I get all the conditions?
No, I think you suffered damage though, if I remember correctly. If you have all the conditions, or you can't heal or something. Let me, I don't think we've ever gotten there. Multiple conditions. If you suffer a condition that you already have, healing. I know it's somewhere. Anyway, we'll look it up if it becomes a thing. But yeah, I think it's something like you lose HP instead of gaining a condition because you're maxed out, something like that.
Yeah, I remember reading that. Yeah, the next time it would happen.
Yeah.
I think it was like a D6.
Yeah, but you guys still haven't done your stretch rest, your shift, or your stretch. Is it stretch? The short one.
Yeah, stretch
your
is short.
Rest. Yeah, you haven't
Perhaps
done
we
that
should
too.
take a break. Yes.
So yeah, this troll is just splayed out, and then in this intersection of this cavern, just oozing blood and gore, and there's a stench coming from it, as well as the cramped cave passage behind you, Peabody.
Peabody will turn around and look at what's behind him in the cave.
So you turn around and you look, and you see again it's this natural cave. It's sort of a little passage that ends in a heap of junk, but you see animal skins on the walls and the floor. You see boxes, sacks, just blades, old and new, stacked and scattered everywhere. Junk is lined up against the wall, which, you know, makes sense because you see on this troll's back, he seems like he's been collecting things throughout this cave of fallen warriors who have decided to come down here and have either perished by his hand or some other means.
He'll kind of step forward and start kind of like
searching around,
poking around through it, and seeing what I can find.
Oh, interesting. So you find 2 torches, nice and dry. You also find a silver bracelet. You find a dagger that you recognize as being poisoned based on something strange on its blade, which is kind of cool. And then another dagger. So a couple daggers, one of which appears to be poisoned, and a silver bracelet among the junk. And most everything else is kind of like, there's swords and other things like that, but these are the ones that seem to be in the best condition. So you're welcome to like collect anything else if you want, like animal skins or whatever, but they're all kind of foul and, stink of troll and rot.
He'll pick up the bracelet and the poison dagger. I think he might leave the other dagger behind. Just say like looking at the two, he just picks the one that looks the coolest, and this one with the poison coating is definitely He likes the neon, the neon green tints to it.
Nice.
So
Okay,
pick that
so
one
I'm
up.
gonna drag this in your inventory.
Oh, I already got it.
Oh,
I
you
can
got it
drag
already?
straight,
Oh, hell
yep,
yeah.
straight from the chat.
All right, well, let me delete the one then. How do I
You
change
can
the
do
quality?
that?
Yeah,
Foundry.
apparently so, man. I didn't know you could do that. Let me just change this back to 1. Okay, yeah, so you got that stuff. So there is still another useful dagger lying in the rest of the items here. But yeah, that's all that you find in this end of the cavern.
It looks like this is a kind of dead end. This little troll, this troll horde. So I think everybody, both him and Bramble. Bramble come up and kind of take a look over his shoulder and see if he sees anything else. Is that something he could also search, or is it like that's the extent
That's
of the...
pretty much, yeah, like I said, you can get any of the stuff I mentioned. Like there's just some old, there's some crates in there. It looks like they're full of old rotten food, rations, stuff like that. But again, not really edible for you, maybe for a troll. Animal skins, there's that one dagger. Everything else though, like if you have an idea for something, we'll say it's there. Like there's like rusted and damaged swords and things, but that's about it. And then the 2 torches, don't forget that. There's 2 very dry torches.
Okay. Oh, the torches. Yeah. I'll. Does Donovan have a weapon? Like any type of...
His staff, I think.
Yeah, I use a staff. Everything
Okay.
else, stabs I have a 12 in. Everything else is a 5 or lower.
Okay. I know Gideon has weapons. Does Serial have? Does she need a dagger?
I have a parrying dagger. So I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What about the weapons that were stuck into the hide on his back? Is there anything interesting there?
Yeah, so you search through those. There's some there's skulls and some other daggers and things, but they're all rusted and kind of old and damaged, like almost like you put them there and forgot about them. And the moisture and rot that he's been living in has damaged them. But you can take them if you want. You can take some if you want.
Is there anything bigger than a dagger?
Like something that's been damaged?
Like a short sword? Or
Yeah, I'll
anything?
say there's a short sword up there that's kind of like chipped in half, the blade.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you guys are all resting, I forgot. So Gideon rested, 0 HP. Okay, 1 condition. Donovan, you rested. Are you gonna rest? I guess you're gonna rest, right, Sariel? Because you have some willpower you can get back.
I also used my memento to gain another condition back as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, don't forget about that, everybody. Okay, you got all your willpower points back. Nice. All right, so you guys stay here for 15 or so minutes, resting up, getting rid of some conditions, and you see sort of a corridor heading far to the south that you haven't explored yet, and then heading back west, and then in the Bat Cave, we'll call it, there was another passage heading south.
Indeed, decisions have to be made.
I know, so many corridors.
Well, if we pick one and it doesn't turn out to be something that we need, a place that we need to go, then we just come back and try the next. I think perhaps we try this first one. And Bramble indicates that one.
Okay.
That slimmer.
Directly to the south. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are going to head down there. And Bramble is
Bramble looks
leading
to
the way.
see if everybody cool with this.
Back in my day, when I was adventuring with your father, we used to We used to split the group up and go different routes, but this is that's how we used to do it.
Uncle, I'm surprised that you survived. That doesn't seem like a very good strategy at all.
We had new members all the time.
Hmm. He looks at everybody else and he's like, perhaps we stay together this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Gideon does not lead. And if you see a monster, you just turn the other way.
But I have to kill all the monsters.
There's no monster.
Yeah, I'm so glad that Gideon did that. Not because I enjoy combat, but because it's perfect for his character. I've been waiting for him to run into a situation that was not so hot because of his weakness. So it was good.
Quite literally.
Yep, quite literally. Okay, so you guys make your way down this narrow, twisting corridor. Your feet squelching in the wet earth. The drip, drip, dripping of the cavern. And you come to a rockfall at the very end. It's blocked by a bunch of fallen stones from the ceiling, from the walls. But Bramble, as you approach this thing, why don't you roll me a crafting roll? I know, it's random, right? Crafting roll. But why don't you roll me one? And that's a success. So you notice something strange about these rocks. They don't look like they were naturally put here, like this was a natural cave-in. It almost looks like it was engineered as if it's been purposely caved in.
My skills as a blacksmith has I can tell that these rocks are not a natural formation. He kind of like kicks at one with his foot to see if like how heavy they are, if they're really rocks. He turns back to Donovan and says, perhaps there is something hidden behind here that somebody did not want anyone to find.
So yeah, you investigate this, and mechanically the way this would work is, yes, you can dig your way out. These are definitely real stones here. It's not a mirage or an illusion or anything like that. It would require crafting rolls, ironically enough, and 10 of them. And then each player character may roll once per shift. So this would be a very long endeavor indeed to get these rocks out of the way. But you're welcome to do it.
10 days.
That's crazy.
10 days.
Well, I mean, not 10 days. I think it depends. So you guys could each roll a crafting roll.
Okay.
So like there's 5 of you. Let's say you all succeed. That means that you guys would be halfway through it.
Yeah.
We can try it.
I got 10 days worth of conditions, trust me.
That's fair.
So this would
I mean,
take...
we can't do it, and we just go, we try someplace else.
Yeah, it's up to you. So it'd take about 4 hours for you guys, one shift, to start to dig through this thing, if you'd like.
The other thing I'm thinking is, as Bramble goes and picks up the first stone, perhaps somebody wanted to seal something in. Perhaps this is where we need to go in order to find our adversary.
That is possible, yes.
And then he'll go ahead and roll. Let's try to roll the first. Crafting.
Okay, so you guys are digging your way out. Nice. All right, yeah. Crafting with a 14 is a success, so that is 1. Is anybody else going to be helping the dig? Or with the dig?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could I kind of cheat?
Yeah, do you have something?
My strength is pitiful.
Yes.
Could I use a willpower to cast fetch and move a stone with fetch? It magically lifts up an object no heavier than weight 1, which I don't know what that. I guess it's like a weapon or something.
Yeah, weight 1 would be yeah, I'll say you can use that for your turn. Why not?
Okay. Yeah, I'll spend a willpower to do that.
Okay, so you guys are pulling these stones down one by one, with the exception of, like, I guess, Bramble, you succeeded, so you're getting more down. Sariel, unfortunately, failed with the demon.
She put a rock
Yeah,
back on top of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say she dislodged a rock with that demon. So one of these stones is tumbling down. So why don't you roll me an evade, Sariel, as the stone is coming right for your elven skull. Oh no!
Wait.
Why did you
just
roll 3 times?
Oh, that was Gideon.
That was me.
Oh!
Also failed with the demon.
Okay, shit. Okay, well, that's confused me. So, Sariel, you get out of the way of this rock, and that rock is coming straight for Gideon. So, Gideon, why don't you roll me an evade? We'll make it have some narrative flow here. See if you're able to dodge out of the way of this. And you are. Okay. Even though you guys both had a mishap, you successfully dodged the boulders you dislodged.
Watch me show those things.
Okay, so how many successes do we got? We got 1, 2, just 2, right? Did Peabody go?
2. Oh, Peabody has not gone yet.
Yeah, let's see if Peabody can do it. $15. Okay, that's a failure unless you want to push it.
No, he's not. He's gonna pick one up and he's like quivering and like, oh my gosh, it's so heavy. And he puts it down and he says, maybe this is not the right job for me. Oh no, that's wrong voice, sorry. Not the right. This is not the right job.
So you guys spend a solid 4 hours trying to dislodge all of these things. Unfortunately, you only get 2 out of 10 there. So you guys gonna keep going? I guess maybe the exhaustion from the battle has limited your excavation skills.
Would that be a shift rest?
Well, you will have to eventually do a shift rest after, I think, 2 more shifts.
Yeah.
There's 4 shifts per day. So we've only done, we'll say the first shift is done because you guys started out fresh and early onto Mary Lake. So if you guys want to keep continuing, we can do the rolls. Otherwise, if you guys want to kind of explore, we can do that too. It's up to you.
I think Bramble will look back at everybody else and say, you know what would be really bad is if we opened up this cave and saw immediately an entrance that is like just right over there that's already open. Maybe we should explore some more before we and then if we don't find a way, we come back and we try this again.
He makes a good point.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay. So are you guys, I guess the only way to go is north. So you head up north, stepping over the carcass of the great troll, and you can head eastward if you'd like, back the way you came into the Bat Cave. And there's also a branch that's leading south, which you guys have not explored. Or you can keep going west.
I think that Peabody is like, as he passes the troll, he will look sadly at him. And he'll kind of, because he's also a cave dwelling monster.
Yeah, okay.
And he'll kind of say, I just wanted him to move. And I thought that my sword might convince him that we were not to be messed with. I did not have to die.
Episode title, I just wanted him to move.
But yeah, I think that Bramble will like pat him on the shoulder sadly as he passes and kind of say, you know, some people just don't want to move. They will not get out of your way, no matter what you say to them.
Okay, so you guys round this troll. Bramble or Peabody pays his respects. And where are you guys thinking you're gonna go? South or west?
What if we leave it up
the
to
party?
What if we leave it up to a roll of the dice? Peabody, those dice I got you. If we get an odd number, we'll go west. If we get an even number, we'll go south.
Oh, I like it. The game of chance. He'll pull out a d6.
Okay. And that is a 6.
Odd.
So, I guess he doesn't want to hurt Peabody's feelings.
I don't know how these work.
We will go west then. He said it was odd.
Perfect. And he puts the dice back in his pouch.
All right. So you guys continue west. And you see your own footprints in the dirt, making your way back toward the entrance area where a staircase is descending into water. And then it continues to go westward. And you find yourself at another somewhat of an intersection. The cavern starts going kind of in a southwesterly fashion. And then also further west. It's feeling like an ant farm.
Do either of these look different than the other? Is there a light at one or a different smell maybe? One passage over the other?
Actually, well, I'll say Bramble, if you're in the lead there, I'll say you can very faintly hear the sound of water. Just kind of like a very subtle lapping on some kind of shore, maybe. Not turbulent water, nothing like a river, but coming from that one that you're the most southern one that you're standing at the front of.
He'll look back at the group and kind of like point at his not his ears, his duck's ear hole. Point at his ear hole and say, "You out of this? It's the water."
Well, then perhaps we'll continue west. Water tends to be where things live. And I'm not sure I want to run into another living thing already.
Sounds good. And he will continue moving down the west passage.
All right, you continue moving down west, and it angles sharply to the south. And you see something. And the cave opens up a little bit. And on the ground, it's very cramped here. Dripping with water like everything else. There's algae just covering the walls. And there is a skeleton on the ground and rusted chainmail.
Well, I didn't expect to find something dead, though, either. The other way.
Yeah, it looks human from where you're standing. I'm guessing you kind of stopped a little bit just to kind of, you're like, oh shit, there's a skeleton on the floor. So you do see it. Like I said, wearing chainmail, and by the torchlight, you see the glint of a blade lying beside this figure as well. But other than that, nothing but glistening cave walls and algae.
Donovan he'll approach it cautiously.
It's funny that the troll did not come over here and retrieve whatever that is.
Okay, so then Donovan, you're getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you approach, you see an ethereal light emanating from the skeleton. And you see this young man rise up in a ghostly form. And you see he is holding a ring in his hand. A golden ring that is shimmering.
Well met.
Well met, ghosts of the skeleton. So he rises. I know, it looks like Frodo, doesn't it? Looks like a hobbit's. So you say, well met, Donovan. And he says, well met. My name was Kadal. What is your name, dwarf? Why are you here?
My name is Donovan Diamondheart. This is a group of my companions and friends, and we are here to stop the end of the world.
So
We
he,
are.
go ahead.
I'll say we are opposed to the demon lord.
So when you say this, his translucent eyes widen, and then he kind of pauses in thought. And he says, "I came to defeat the evil that lurks at the bottom of this isle. My beloved Tuviel came before me, and I came to save her, and rid the world of Azrael Koth as well. But," and he kind of pauses and looks down, "I was slain." And he's studying his own skeleton on the floor there. "By a demon of the sea who lives in the center of this cave structure. You will find him to the east of here."
What do you know of this demon? What do you remember?
I remember he's crab-like. He has large pincers. He has strange stalks for eyes. He is a horror to behold. But he exists in this cloud of mist. He's difficult to see at times, and I think that was my undoing. And also where he lurks were these incredibly slippery rocks. I was tripping and falling and couldn't bring my sword down to slay him, and crawled back here to die after being wounded.
What is this ring you hold?
This ring, you understand I cannot rest until the thing that slayed me is slain. And I will give this ring to whoever brings it to its end.
Does this ring have any magical properties to it? Or just sentiment?
It is something that will protect you from the mists above, from
Well, that was my
demons
next
you make.
question. How do you get here?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he explains that this ring will protect you guys from the poisonous mists that are pervasive on the surface. But he's offering this ring to whoever, if anybody, will take the charge to defeat this demon.
I think Bramble will like lean over and kind of examine the skeleton, and then the armor and the blade that lies next to him.
Yeah, it's pretty common chainmail he's wearing. Nothing fancy that you can tell. The broadsword as well. It's not master crafted or anything like that. Seems like something you'd find at any, ordinary blacksmith.
He'll look up at the spirit and he'll say, "And once this beast has been slain, you will be free. Yes?"
I will rest, yes.
He looks over at Donovan and says, "Well, I guess that we know it's not dead already."
It's true. We will accept your quest and destroy this demon. Something tells me we have to, one way or another, to ultimately complete our goals. We have a very skilled monster slayer, a spider slayer, and a serpent slayer. Bramble, what have you killed?
I killed a demon.
And a demon slayer. And I make a shit cup of tea. So we will take care of this demon and bring you to peace.
I thank you. Who is the champion who will wear my ring?
That's a good question. Peabody, bring out that die.
He will come forward. Peabody will. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. The walls are getting in the way. Yeah, he will come out and he will. Did you give him an entire dice set or just like one die?
It says it's a couple of dice in the book. Like it's
Okay. He'll pull out a D8 this time. Oh, I know how many. Let's see. He will roll a D4. One, two, D5. He'll roll a D5.
Okay.
Let me see. I don't know what that is. It has a one dot.
that means it's a 1. And well, we really did predetermine who was what number, Shine, so
The perhaps we could think about it. Could we get back to you on who will do it? That person we select. And he kind of lowers his voice. And that's 5. If you know, if it's a big monster that you're saying.
yeah.
I mean, just being honest here. We'll have to see what's going on. Honestly, can we ask? Can we give you a name later? After?
Yes, Kadal, would that be okay if we chose who the champion was that struck down the demon?
Of course. I don't mean to overcomplicate this situation, but yes, you may choose your champion at a later time. And but here, take this ring, and I thank you. And I only ask one more thing: if you find my beloved Tuviel in these caves, will you tell her I'm sorry and that I tried?
Yes, we can do that.
Thank you. Okay, so you guys take the ring. The ghost dematerializes back down into the skeletal remains, and you guys are back in the normal cave that you were in earlier before the ghost showed up. And there is a passageway leading to the south, or back north the way you came.
I feel like all these other passages are just going to lead us to the demon, and the one that was blocked off was probably the one way to avoid it. Because that would be a great reward for that much hard work. So I guess
Not gonna tell.
I guess we just go south.
Okay.
And I mean we're good for our demon fight, right? Is everybody feeling ready for killing
demon
another demon?
Absolutely.
Oh yes.
It's what we're best at.
Did we shift rest?
No, you did a short rest or a stretch rest.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only
Gideon still
you guys have
has
spent like about a shift, I guess. So it's still technically around, I don't know, maybe a little past midday ish.
Yeah. Do you need more rest, Gideon? I can brew you some tea.
I think that would be very helpful, actually. Yeah.
Perhaps though we'll maybe not rest in the room with a dead man's remains.
We should have asked him how safe this room is. Maybe nobody ever comes in here.
Was there any food in the trolls area?
Rotten food. Nasty old rotten food.
I have 3 rations.
Okay.
And Cyriel, you're kind of standing away from the group a bit. You hear a familiar sound behind you, kind of in the distance, but echoing. Sounds like the chitter of bats and the beating of wings.
Can I tell where it's coming from? Like south?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like it's coming from further to the east, maybe where you guys came from.
More food.
Yeah, Peabody licks his lips at the at the sound of bats.
Crispy bat wings.
Bat soup, bat sandwiches, bat a la king.
We could spend a shift going over all the different ways you can prepare bats.
Yeah. So what do we want to do? Do we want to hunker down here and take our chances here, or try to find somewhere else to rest, or just continue south and see if we find somewhere safe to rest there? I feel like this place isn't very safe all around.
Bramble will kind of come up and say, but if perhaps this is quite safe. Nobody has disturbed this skeleton's armor or weapon. It doesn't seem like anybody has come through here. Plus, I'm fine taking a majority or a longer watch. I'm feeling pretty great. It's really Gideon who really needs to rest. You're looking pretty bad yourself, a little bit there, Peabody. I could sleep.
All right, then we'll shut up here in the strip.
So what are you guys' plans? You guys are just gonna wait till nightfall and then rest?
Well, let's see. Do we have to wait till? Let's see.
Would we even know when nightfall is in a cave?
Probably not. I don't think we would wait till, like, maybe we would shift rest and then start adventuring again at nightfall. What would be nightfall? Because we would kind of, I'm assuming if we shift rest now, we're going to be resting the afternoon and late afternoon away, and then become active again at nighttime. I do that all the time in real life. It's awesome. I do that for the streams here. I come home from work, I go to sleep, and then I wake up.
There you go. Little shift rest.
Yeah, I do. I do a shift rest before I do these.
I don't know. Is that something that we could do? Could we rest now and pick up again, like start moving forward once night is fallen?
You can. There's just a danger. So with a shift rest, you can't rest anywhere where enemies are nearby. And so you could try, but then somebody might come and interrupt your rest.
Not that I'm metagaming, but that could deplete our resources even worse for the demon fight.
I mean, you guys can leave the island and go back to shore and rest and recuperate and then come back if you want. That's probably your best option, I would say. If you want to do like a long rest.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and we don't have to like move the tokens in the map. We can just kind of hand wave the whole
Hand
thing
wave it.
if you guys want to do that. Because there's really nothing out there. You guys have a boat that got you to the isle. You had no encounters. Everything was dead. That was on the surface. There was nothing whatsoever. So you can easily make it back to the shore if you'd like. Check on the horses, maybe?
Yeah. Checking on the horses.
Okay. So is that the plan?
That sounds good. That sounds good to Peabody and Bramble. If Serial and Gideon, you
Sounds
guys
good to
want to
me.
do that?
Okay.
Will we have to? We won't have to redo like the. Will we have to redo the swimming rolls and all that stuff?
No, I don't want to make you guys do that again. Yeah, I'll just
Uh-huh.
have you say you can easily get back down here. Okay,
Okay.
so you guys go back, you rest. Let's just have everybody do like a shift rest now. And we'll just say you guys come back to the cave. Everything is exactly as you left it. The horses were fine. They hadn't run off. There was no more encounters. The orc is still lying face down in the pool of water at the top of the staircase. And nothing
Okay.
seemed to follow you out either. So the giant pillar was still there.
Did we get about like what time did we reapproach the island? And I guess the main question I was thinking was, did we see the bats that were swirling around the tower?
Yeah, well, I guess it depends. Do you guys want to immediately rest, or were you thinking about waiting until nightfall-ish, dusk, and then resting, and then coming back in the daytime, or just doing the night shift like Donovan was saying?
I would think we probably we left, spent time with the horses, kind of maybe thought about this demon more. Also, maybe there's something in Gideon's book about a sea demon of some kind, a crab demon. He's got that book of heroes and villains.
True. Also, being a monster hunter, could I roll a myth and legends?
Yeah, you could.
Could
I'm
I?
gonna go ahead.
I was
Or
gonna
you
try
could
assist
useful.
him.
Assist him.
Yeah.
How would you assist him?
Well, I have really good what you call it, myths and legends. And I mean, I've been around the block a few times. I'd be like kind of like trying to think about my past adventures. Have I ever heard of, or even maybe in the past remember encountering an aquatic demon of some kind? Because you said it was crab-like, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so you have like a rough description. So yeah, why don't you guys give me a roll of myths and legends with a boon, and we'll see what you guys recall and or research. Okay, oof. Almost got another demon there. So that's a 4 with a success. So yeah, you know that there are lots and lots of demons that exist in all shapes and sizes. But the brief the brief description that Kadal gave, his name was Kadal? Kadal? I think it was.
I think it was Kadal.
Yeah, Kadal. He, you guys do find mention of a demon that has kind of roughly a humanoid-esque body, but has the great claws of a crab and the head of a crab and many eyes like a spider. You do know that typically these demons, when summoned to Earth, are sometimes bound where they are summoned, acting as guardians of sorts. So oftentimes they don't have the ability to freely wander about because they were again brought here by another will.
Okay.
But that's the gist of what you get.
we'll have to be very careful when we discover this creature and engage with it. So everyone keep in mind it's a demon, so there's no sense in trying to reason with it. And if it's crab-like, a crustacean, um, I'm going to imagine it's going to be very difficult to penetrate its defenses. Uh, I imagine it probably has a sturdy body.
Sturdy body. So, and then Bramble, you were asking about the bats, if you see them again. So yeah, you don't see them when you exit, but when you come back again, you do see them. They kind of just swarm, cluster at the back, and then they kind of disappear behind the stones there. So the island is very rocky, and toward the back, it does rise up a little bit, and that appears to be where the bats vanish to. So if there's some kind of cave back there that they're lurking in to sleep or whatever, you're not sure, unless you guys want to go investigate. But otherwise that's what you see.
I don't think so. Like if Bramble notices that the bats go that way, he will just like go, now's the chance. Like let's get back into where we were without being noticed by them.
Okay. So you guys all make your way back down, swim back down, make your way back into the caves. And did you come back to this little area right here with Kadal's corpse, or are you going to choose a different direction?
Well, he indicated that he crawled up this passageway after he was hurt. So yeah, I think that I think Bramble at least would suggest that while everybody's fresh and no conditions, that we backtrack along the way that Kadal crawled.
Okay. All right, so you guys head on down. Everything's exactly as you left it. No squeaky bats this time around, thankfully. But you make your way down the south, and then it sharply turns to the east. And Donovan, I guess if you're in the lead, you hear the sound of that lapping of water that Bramble heard earlier. And are you guys using a torchlight or like his light thing? I can't remember.
I'll be using a torchlight this time.
You're going to use your torch? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're using your torch and making your way down this cavern, and you do see water. You see the torchlight glinting off water. You also see a series of wet stones leading to a larger stone in the middle of this body of water. And these stones are slick with algae and water and moisture. But there is a heavy mist hovering around the centralized boulder in the center, and there is a strange marking you can kind of see etched in the stone as well.
I believe we are extremely close.
Yeah, you notice that there's also a cavern leading to the south, the southernmost part of this body of water that fills up this entire cave passage. Also to the east and also to the north. And you see these just stepping stones leading from the dry land of the cavern, well, dryish, all the way to this centralmost rock that's rising up out of the dark water. And again, it's very foggy in here, very difficult to see.
All right. So how are we going to go about this? I don't see any kind of demon anywhere, right?
No, you don't see anything. It's just like this water, these stones, a stone in the middle, and then heavy fog.
Do the stones look like they would be difficult to traverse over?
Yes. They're slick with algae and then very, very wet.
Does the
Which
water
in game turn, the water, it's hard to see. You can't quite see the bottom, where you are, but basically in game turns, it's going to require an acrobatics check to keep your feet on the rocks.
That does not bode well for me.
Why don't
Yeah.
you stay here, Uncle? We will try to make it across. If that's okay.
Yes, perhaps you can figure out an easier way to get me across once you get over there.
Okay. I guess. Okay. So Bramble will attempt. You said acrobatics?
Yeah, it's an acrobatics check as you carefully step across these stepping stones covered with algae and moisture. And you succeed.
So he's got looks like a better look at the carving on the island.
Yeah, so you make your way across, and it's incredibly cold in here as you step through the mist. And as you do so, something catches your eye, something dark and many-eyed appears. If I can click this thing. And appearing from the center of this symbol on this rock is this great creature as described by Kadal. I think I have artwork here. He looks like this.
Nice.
So his eyes are glowing. He even has an eye in his chest, massive pincers, huge crab-like head, dripping fangs. And he sees you immediately, Bramble, and does something. Let's see what he does. Let me add everybody to the round really quick here. Change the tunes again.
Uncle, perhaps you should stay over there.
Okay, so he sees you. What does he do? So his head lunges forward, so you see these eyes, glowing eyes everywhere, and it just like this maw comes forward right at you, Bramble.
I'd like to try to
evade it
if possible.
Yeah, you can evade, or you can parry. Yeah, this is a parryable attack.
I'll try to do that. That sounds great. I'll try to
Okay.
parry it. Let's see. What is the roll for that? Is that
It's your weapon, I think. You're
okay,
using.
yeah. So he will try to parry.
Okay. I think you get something if I remember correct. We don't.
I rolled a
correctly.
dragon, so I'm okay.
Oh shit! You did?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's an uber parry. So parry. Hang on, sorry. Parrying. I just want to make sure I have everything right. So. Why do I always forget this rule? I guess because we never do it.
I was still
So if your
targeting
parry
the troll.
succeeds, yeah, here we go. The enemy attack hits your weapon or shield and you suffer no damage. However, if the damage exceeds your weapon's durability, the weapon is damaged and cannot be used until it's repaired. So that there is the brunt of it. So, and when you successfully parry an attack, you can move both yourself and the enemy 2 meters in any direction. So, but here we go. Rolling a dragon when parrying. If you roll a dragon when parrying, you immediately perform a counterattack on your opponent. An automatic hit with your weapon that cannot be dodged or parried. This does not apply if the attacker rolled a dragon as well. In that case, you need da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so you'll get a counterattack, but first I got to roll this damage and compare it against your durability. So that's 18. What was your durability as you block this massive bite?
It is 15.
Okay. Okay, so that exceeds your durability. That means your weapon is damaged by these mighty, mighty teeth.
Ooh.
And you unfortunately, yeah, you cannot use it until it is repaired with a crafting roll.
Okay.
So, but what I'll do
Can you
is
do that mid-combat? Probably not, right?
no. I would say it has to be like during non-combat stuff. So, I'll say though you have enough time to whip out another weapon and do your counterattack since you did roll a dragon.
Okay. He does have his other warhammer, the one that is not great.
The one that is not great.
Okay. He will. The counter. I just roll an attack on him.
Yeah. Free attack. Cannot dodge this attack whatsoever. Oh no! A melee mishap. Go ahead and click the button whenever you want. You drop your weapon at your feet, picking it up as an action. Okay. So luckily it doesn't fall into the water. It lands right at your feet. It's a good thing it wasn't one of those. It lands D3 plus 3 meters away. That would have been crappy. Okay, so unfortunately that's it. So I'm going to begin and roll initiative. So the demon is already gone. You have parried, but its turn is again in the initiative order. So what does it do? A chilling roar. So this demon roars. Everyone within 10 meters must succeed a will. Oh, our favorite roll, guys, the fear. So who is in within 10 meters here? Everybody except Peabody and Gideon. So all of you guys need to roll against will. Hopefully you succeed. Otherwise, we got to check the fear table.
So Bramble has the fearless.
Okay, so you do not have to roll, right? You're like immune to fear.
He resists fear without a will. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so Sariel succeeds. Donovan succeeds. You guys feel rested up and ready. So this roar does nothing, which brings us to Gideon. You're up next.
He's feeling really good after taking down that troll. So, don't want to move everybody. I'm gonna move up. And these rocks here are slippery, right?
Yeah, so the way this works is it requires an acrobatics check when you cross them. But if you are standing on them in combat, it requires an acrobatics check as well every round. It's not a turn, though, so it's a free action. Otherwise, you're going to probably fall into the water. But I'd probably, you know what? I'd probably give the aquatic people like a... I'd give you guys a boon, because you're used to slippery. You're slippery yourselves.
Ooh, okay. I can jump as far as my movement horizontally. Okay, sweet. So I'm actually going to leap.
Okay. Oh shit! You're gonna clear the whole thing. You can make it like all the way, right? Oh, it's only
it's my
4 meters?
Movement horizontal.
Heck yeah, that's only 6 meters to get to that island. So you leap over there, and I guess you can be beside Bramble on either side.
And then at the end of leaping, it says that I can end it with a melee attack.
Okay.
Which is made with a boon.
Awesome. Go for it.
But I'm wondering, could I use another ability, or is it one ability per turn?
I get tell me what you want to do and we can see.
I have Dragon Slayer.
Dragon Slayer. So what does that do?
An attack aimed at a monster deals an additional D8 damage.
Yeah, it's just it's a heroic ability, right?
Yeah, I just
I mean, why not? Like, I'll let it. Yeah, it's fine. It just takes more willpower points. I feel like I don't think any of the. I think leaping. I don't know if that takes an action, but you get the free attack anyway, right? Yeah. Leaping is the action. You get the free attack. So I'll just say creating or activating this heroic ability, unless it says otherwise. Should be fine.
So do I
Ooh,
have
17. Wow, that was a close one.
Yeah, very close. So Dragon Slayer. What do I roll? D8. Okay.
So a D6 and a D8 for 6 points of damage on this guy. He doesn't see this thing coming. This frog leaping out of the mist. Okay, so 6 plus, so 7 total.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's deal. Oh, it didn't work. Let me just do it manually then. 7 points of damage. Why does he got 2? What is this? Okay, so you whip him and his hide is thickly covered in this chitinous exoskeleton. So you do a little bit of damage, but it's almost like you're a fly buzzing around him. But then he sees you. Well, let's see what he does, because I know a lot of these attacks are very AoE. His turn. Arm pinch. The demon almost pinches a player character's arm with its off claw. The attack inflicts 2d6 slashing damage, but can be parried. If you are using the rules for severe injuries, the victim also suffers a broken arm. Oof.
Ooh.
If they take at least 1 point of damage. So I'm going to say, I guess he goes for Gideon because he was the one who just attacked him. So you can you parry this though? You don't have a parry weapon, right?
No. Plus, I attacked already.
Well, it would be a free action anyway.
Oh, okay.
It's like a reaction to what he's doing, so it wouldn't count. Okay, so whoa, what happened? Did I roll it? Did somebody click it?
Oh, I clicked on it.
Oh,
Sorry.
you clicked it. Now I was like, holy shit, it auto rolled? Like it hears us? What's going on? Okay, so yeah, 3 points of damage, and unfortunately, yeah, you do have a broken arm as this pincher clamps down on Gideon. I'll tell you, let's look up really quick broken arm, because I want to see, or what is it, severe injuries?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to see how those play out. Well, heal wound can take care of that, by the way. Dang it. Okay, here we go. Severe injuries. I just want to see what happens. So broken arm. You cannot use two-handed weapon nor dual wield and get a bane on all other actions normally using both arms, such as climbing, healing, time. So you can still attack. You just can't do anything with both arms. So that's not completely terrible. And then also, let's see. What is the healing days here? 3d6. So you can roll me a 3d6 and that'll be how many days, unless there's any kind of like magical healing intervention. Ooh, 12 days. Okay, so he bites down hard on you. But Peabody, you're up next as Gideon gets his little frog arm broken.
Okay, Peabody is going to move forward. Let's see. He could get up there in 10, but he's going to have to make the...
Yeah, just an acrobatics check,
acrobatics. Yeah. Okay.
See if he can...
So he'll get up there. And then...
Oh, that looks like a success. Yeah, 4. Nice. Okay, so you make it all the way on the southern part of the rock.
And is it an action to pass a weapon to another player?
I would say if it's the one in your hand, probably not. If you just like toss it. But if it's a secondary one, yeah, I would say it would probably count as an action.
I think that then I think Peabody's gonna just he's gonna attack.
Okay,
The
Um-Durman
crab.
him. Okay.
Yep.
Why don't you give me a roll?
Oh, there's an action. So clicking on it, it gives me the option of slashing, stabbing, toppling, disarming, that kind of stuff. One of them is finding a weak spot.
Yeah.
And so looking at this crab, does it look like he's super armored? Like
Yes.
how we expect he has the shell?
Yes.
Okay, so that might be what he's gonna do. Like he will attack, but by finding the weak spot. Like I guess I don't know how that would work, but it's
Yeah,
something
so-
I can select.
Exactly.
With
So
this.
the way it works is you try to find a gap in the enemy's armor, and you get a bane on the attack, but if it hits, the enemy counts as armorless. So its entire armor is...
That's awesome. Okay, I'll try that.
All right.
That's really good.
3? Well, here's
I
the
think-
thing. Here's
Yeah,
the
okay.
crazy thing. So you swing this sword, and right before it makes contact with this crab demon, the blade ignites in flame and breaks through the shell of this demon. So the way this works mechanically is anytime you use this sort of Um-Durman against demons or dragons, it counts as a dragon roll. Every time.
Oh.
Okay.
Like, I'll take it. So you can have either the double damage or the what is it, free attack? Yeah.
I'll do the double damage. Does that? But because I was rolling to find the weakness,
The weak spot. Yeah. So you could.
Yeah, I would rather have that. Like have it if that's an option. I would rather it just be I succeed and this thing is armorless to everyone. Is that how it works?
No,
Or is
it's
it just
for that
to-
one hit. It's for that one
Okay.
attack. Yeah.
Then I'll do double
exactly.
damage.
Okay.
Then.
Yeah, because
So
you're
I
kind of
don't have
like
the option to-
aiming and trying to hit a certain area, and then you find it, and then you do more damage.
Okay. Should I just roll?
Yeah, so roll
The-
the attack, or sorry, roll the damage twice. Or
Okay.
sorry, just once, and then we'll double it. And then I'll just make sure to we don't calculate armor at all.
Hey.
Okay, so 9, so 18. Do you get like a strength bonus or anything?
I don't see
Like
where
a
it would say
damage
it.
bonus? That would be, let's see here. Let me look at your main. No, you don't have a strength bonus, damage bonus.
Okay.
It's 0. Okay, so 18.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
As you cut through this guy, I need a calculator because this is weird math. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you shatter some of his shell and he roars in pain. Wow, that took a lot out of him. Okay. Okay, and I'm guessing you're going to hold your ground.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this crab demon is pissed, but also somewhat fearful. And he does a head bite right at you, Peabody. So you can, I guess you can't dodge because you've already gone.
Yep.
You can parry it though.
I guess he will
Is
try.
that a free attack though?
Parrying doesn't count as your action, I believe I read.
Okay.
I'll double check.
Rear shield, yeah, I just wanted to make sure in this case because you did use your action already.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Parrying. Reaction. Parries a
Page.
reaction as it breaks the initiative where it replaces your regular turn. Okay. So it does replace your regular turn and you must immediately flip your initiative card. So in that
Oh.
case, you cannot parry because you've
Okay.
already gone. Okay. So he bites down on poor little Peabody. It's 14 points of damage, unless you have some armor, which you have.
Oh, I
Enough.
do. Yeah, I have 3 armor.
You have 3. So you're going to suffer 11 points of damage.
Okay.
Ooh, so you're barely holding on. But you're still up. But that brings us to Sariel. There's a very short army of warriors below this demon on this rock. As you are staring down at them, what would you like to do?
I'm going to try to shoot over them.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay.
It's just a bane since they're you don't really have line of sight without them.
Question.
Yeah.
With the flaming sword attack, which may have like lit up an area, is it possible that Sariel could see this spot that that Peabody broke on the shelf?
Find the weak spot.
Yeah, it's like imagine
I'll say
fire illuminates this area.
Yeah, so I'll say if she wants to again, find the weak spot, but it would be like, let's see. So normally it's a bane on the attack, but then you get double damage, or you get I'll just say like you'll still get a bane on the attack, but I'll say you can actually, you know what? Give me an awareness roll. Just see if you notice it. Let's just do that. Let's leave it to the dice. And then if that does succeed, then you'll get you'll have to okay, it succeeds with a 12, so you can just disregard any armor on this attack.
Okay. So I still get a bane though, right?
Yeah, just because they're in the way. That's still a success with a 10. So roll the damage.
Yeah.
Wow, 14. Do you get? Yeah,
Max
that's a good mass damage. Okay, so or max damage.
And then plus 8.
What's the 8 for?
Well, not plus 8, plus a d8. 4. Plus 4.
What is the D8 for? Is that?
I did Dragon Slayer.
Oh, okay. Damn, 14 plus 8. Okay. You guys do some serious freaking damage. Oh, 14 plus 4, so it's only 18. So 18. Okay. Alright, yeah, you find that weak spot. And a gout of black blood shoots out from it and starts just oozing all over the rest of his exoskeleton. Did you want to move anymore, or are you going to stay put?
Yeah, I'm back in them.
Okay. Donovan, you're up.
Donovan's in a tricky spot.
He is in a tricky spot.
He wants to heal,
Yes.
but he has to touch to heal.
Oh, no. And you can what's your movement, like 4?
Right.
And you couldn't even make it there.
Couldn't make it there. Also, real quick, I realized where I was thinking what I was thinking. There's a heroic ability called defensive, and when you take that allows you to parry without using your action.
Ah, nice.
There's probably a dodge one too somewhere in there.
Nice.
Because I was looking at those for perhaps the next thing. So, Donovan's gonna shout out, "Peabody, get yourself close to me as soon as you can." And because he wants to heal Peabody.
He's in a
bad.
shitty spot either way, because if he moves, there's going to be a free
Gets
attack
attacked.
against him, yeah. But he gets an opportunity to dodge it, though. Because
He
the
wants
evade would be.
to desperately save his friends. So we're going to target the demon.
Also, I just
Alright.
noticed that Peabody does have the defensive feat, or heroic ability. So
Oh, no.
it's all good. I'd forgotten that he just took it, so I haven't had a chance to really memorize his skills.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, we'll remember that next time. So yeah, you do see, just if this helps you at all, Gideon, I mean, you can tell this demon is not doing well. Like, part of his entire, like, frontal exoskeleton has been absolutely shattered by the sword of Um-Durman. There's an arrow sticking out of it. Blood is just leaking in this torrent down it, so it's not looking so hot.
Oh, we're gonna finish him off here. I think we're gonna do a lightning bolt.
I thought you'd do that.
Power level 3.
Oh my god. And yeah, that is a success.
So let's roll the damage. Please be good damage.
Oh my god, 24. Okay, so this entire cave lights up an electric light. It's an intense electrical storm. And it bursts down on this demon, and it just completely shatters. Its entire exoskeleton comes to pieces, almost hovering in 0G for a second, and you just see this meaty goop on the inside, and then it just kind of gets sucked back into this symbol that's on the ground, and it completely vanishes from sight, smoking and smoldering at your feet. Peabody, Bramble, and Gideon. And I think that's a good place to end it, everybody. Demon destroyed. Whew.
The strangest urge for seafood.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it there, guys. Don't forget, next Tuesday is gonna be when we're playing next. It's gonna be Merkborg, run by Joey. So I'm excited to be a player finally. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm surprised you hadn't played it yet.
I've never played Merkborg. I've only run it. Yeah, so it'll be cool. And thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Andreas. Thank you, Noel, for everything you do and everything you let us use on this this game. And thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks Sam, who joined us as always. Sunbeam. Who else? Let me scroll up. Mellow. I know there's somebody else. Bunny Cat Likes. Thanks for joining us live. And don't forget, next Tuesday will be Merkborg right here. So stay tuned and see you guys then. And let me find the end stream button like I always can find. All right, guys. See you next week. Thanks.